Well, today Fabrizio Romano has come out and obviously given us a very detailed truth about Laporte's transfer to Arsenal. How did it come about and where is it right about now? Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. It's a very good evening. Hope you guys are really having a wonderful day and hope you're doing the necessaries to see to it that you obviously prepare for your night. Today we come in here to bring you the latest about Laporte. We are talking about Kai Havertz and why Arteta and what Arteta has to say about the player. Then Theo Walcott's message as he obviously retired his boots finally from the game of football. As I told you yesterday, that Theo Walcott is going to retire his boots, all hang up his boots, and obviously retire from professional football. I come in peace to bring you the latest news and information as far as all this is really concerned. Let's see close to 400 likes much on this video. Don't forget to subscribe so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, let's start it off with Fabrizio Romano on what he's saying about Aymeric Laporte, a player that Arsenal was so much linked to, and they can obviously try to do the deal, but there are some hints that have been put in the way that might force Arsenal to leave or get off this deal. Fabrizio said it's true that they appreciate a player like Aymeric Laporte. At the beginning of the market at the end of June and beginning of July, they considered a move for Laporte, but it was very expensive. So the first reason as to why Arsenal feel like they should not go in for this signing of Aymeric Laporte is the price tag that Man City have gone ahead to put onto the player Aymeric Laporte. And at his age, 29 years of age, Man City is calling in for a lot of money, and Arsenal doesn't want to obviously spend huge on a 29-year-old player. That's why they decided to go in for Julian Timber. But why he's back in the news is simple. A player Arsenal replaced him with, that is Julian Timber, just got an injury. And him getting an injury, he's going to be out for 7 months. That's why Arsenal have been linked to this player again. So, at the beginning of June and July, they were really so much interested in the player, that is Aymeric Laporte, and Arsenal wanted to sign the player. But this player is really expensive, is really experienced, and Man City believe they could get some good money from this player. But Arsenal had to totally pull out. But he goes ahead to add on another reason as to why he believes this deal is not going to happen, because of the following reasons. Man City were not keen on selling another player to Arsenal after Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, and all the others. So that's why it was not an easy one. So City are still afraid of sending more players to Arsenal, because they believe the more players they send to Arsenal, the more they strengthen that side. Because having only sent their two players, Zinchenko and Jesus, Arsenal was just 4 points behind City. And if at all Arsenal had in the required effort towards the end of the season, they would have gone ahead to deny City their 6th, I think, Premier League title. That is it. So it's one of those things that you'll obviously understand that City doesn't want to strengthen their rivals, that is Arsenal, and they believe that they're not going to give Laporte a chance. So this is all being told us by Fabrizio Romano via the Give Me podcast and the Give Me Sport podcast, and he is obviously hinting on Laporte. Now, if Laporte looks like it's not going to be the deal that Arsenal is going to make, who exactly is going to come in to get into as a replacement of Laporte? I brought you a story yesterday that Pavard is one of those that Arsenal is really considering. There is it Skinman who plays for Borussia Dortmund or RB Leipzig? Arsenal is looking in for him. Mark Guici is one of those that Arsenal is looking in for, to see to it that they really bring him on. And those that don't know Mark Guici, wait for the game Arsenal is going to play over the week starter, that is Monday, as they play Crystal Palace. That's when you're going to know a lot about this player, because this player has a lot attached to himself in as far as this game of football is really concerned. I love the player, press resistant, and he is tailor-made for the Premier League. His physicality is not questioned. That's why it's going to be one of those deals that Arsenal might look at towards the end of the transfer window. But Laporte was really one of those that Arteta wanted because of his experience, his winning mentality, and due to the fact that when he added 2 Man City players to his squad, they almost won the trophy. So we wait and see whether Man City is going to go, whether Man City will obviously find any room to sell this player. But Al Nassr is trying to agree personal terms with Aymeric Laporte, though Aymeric Laporte is still pushing hard to it that he joins the side of Arsenal or Real Madrid. Even Real Madrid have gone ahead to inquire about the player, so we wait and see how this really pans out. But it looks like it's going to be one of those transfers that might keep on until the end of the transfer window. Now, leaving that at that, let's go to one of the, I think was the first signing of Arsenal this summer. That was Kai Havertz. Very many Arsenal fans have their reservations over this player, and I've seen them go hard on this player, but I think he's really one of those who are going to hit obviously fit in that team, though you've not yet got to know the role that this player plays. Now Arteta, sorry about that, has gone ahead and obviously provided us an update about Kai Havertz. He says, I'm really happy with what he's bringing to the team. His intensity, sorry about that, his intensity, his mobility, his threat, his understanding of the game and spaces, and the way he's fitted around the boys as well. So I'm really, really happy with him. So you might say that you're not happy with Kai Havertz, but Arteta is really happy with Kai Havertz. I know there is a portion of Arsenal fans who don't believe in this, and they believe it's a bad signing that Mikel Arteta went ahead to do. But for me, what comes first when a signing like this is made is a big question on a player having the talent. When a player is having the talent, expect him to obviously get you the best that you deserve, because talent doesn't lie. And when you look at how hardworking he is on the field of play, that makes him a player that might be beneficial to this Arsenal side. I understand that most of you want to see him score goals, but Arteta is talking about these 3 important do's he has gone ahead to portray on the field of play. That is Kai Havertz. His intensity. He's a man who leads the press very, very well. That is it. So, if he's a man who leads the press very, very well, that leaves us in a situation of obviously knowing that he gives Arsenal a different structure, obviously the forward altogether. His mobility has been talked about by Mikel Arteta. Obviously, you know to it that he can play the central midfield, he can play in the wide attacking areas, and he can lead the line. That is Kai Havertz. So, he's a multi-dimensional player that Arteta really loves. And he's a threat. Obviously, do you know why he's a threat? His composure on the ball is really undoubted. And Arteta has always wanted to have a player like Kai Havertz in his team to obviously dedicate the play. You know, I like Martin Odegaard on doing that, but he doesn't sometimes hold up, you know. But Kai Havertz will obviously slow down when you want the game to be slowed down, and will obviously quicken up the game when the game is needed to be fast. So Arteta is in love with the player, and he believes this is the player that he wanted to sign. So he came in through for £6-7 million from Chelsea, and you all know what he is all about. That is Kai Havertz, and Arteta is very much happy with the player of Kai Havertz. I know this is going to leave a divided opinion in Arsenal fans, and especially the subscribers of Rokani Media Football on Kai Havertz, because I know some people here who have gone ahead to obviously doubt the abilities of Kai Havertz, and he's thriving at Arsenal. I know that very well, but that leaves us in a very good situation of talking about this beautiful game of football as it goes on to be played. So it's a matter of time. Third game of the season for Kai Havertz, I think, is going to play as Arsenal plays against Crystal Palace. I'm coming up with my match preview, I think, in the morning for this guy, and I think you guys are going to obviously know what my predicted starting 11 is and what my views of Arsenal versus Crystal Palace are. Now, let's go to Theo Walcott. Yesterday I told you that this man is considering to obviously hang up his boots from international football, and today he has gone ahead to put up this post via his Instagram and a thread. The first moment I put my boots on age 10 was the start of a special journey for me. From playing in the park with friends to performing in some of the biggest stadiums in front of huge crowds across the world. The support shown to me throughout this time has been incredible in every way imaginable, and I'm truly grateful. I've shared the football pitch with so many incredible players, and we have created so many unforgettable memories. I would like to say big thanks to all the managers and coaches I've worked with, especially Harry for giving me the start, and Arsene Wenger for showing belief and support to me when I joined the club at only 16 years of age. Remember, Arsene Wenger bought him from Southampton at that age, and obviously Arsenal had lots of hopes in the player, though most of those never really came to pass. Over 18 fantastic years in the Premier League, there are so many moments I'll cherish. The early days at a Southampton Football Club, my transfer to Arsenal where I spent 12 enjoyable years. That is Theo Walcott, and scored over 100 goals, winning the FA Cup and scoring the final, which is every kid's dream, to have had the opportunity to represent England 47 times, going to the World Cup in 2006, age just 17, and still to hold the record for the youngest ever debut by a senior England player and the youngest hat-trick goal scorer at 19. I'll never forget that feeling. Remember, it's Bukayo Saka that went ahead to come close to him after scoring his hat-trick at the age of 21. Goodison Park is such a special place to play, and Everton will always be at my heart. I loved my time there, and I will never forget the way the fans welcomed me and my family. Then finally back to Southampton to complete the circle. It's a great club with an exciting young team that I know will get better and better. I'm lucky enough to have had offers to continue playing, but it feels right to finish where I started and hang up my boots, all my football boots. Thank you to everyone who has been with me along the way. That is the man himself, Walcott. Nothing more to say about him, but good to see to it that is going to hit retire, and we wait to see what he's going to do next after this beautiful game of football that he played for Arsenal, Everton, Southampton, and very many other teams. So guys, your thoughts onto Laporte to Arsenal transfer truth are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Kai Havertz being hailed by Arteta, and Arteta is very happy with Kai Havertz? What do you make about Walcott's farewell message as he really hangs his boots, or his football boots, finally? I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living to God bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later, my lovely mates. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. My most viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu Fikum.